So as Nick just mentioned, many Republicans do not want to vote for same-sex marriage because they fear political retribution from my next guest. Mike Long is the chairman of the state Conservative Party. He has made it quite clear that any lawmaker who supports same-sex marriage will not be getting his blessing or his ballot line, if he can help it, in 2012. Chairman, it is good to see you.
Good to see you, Liz. Good to be with you.
It is good to be with you, too. So the governor today did as we expected. He put out the bill, the same-sex marriage bill. It is a program bill. He indicated that he would not do so unless he believed that there are sufficient votes to pass the measure. So does he know something we don't at this point? Do you have any insight into that?
Well, I have no insight in that. I know he got one Republican to flip, and rumor has it Senator Lisi, who already was in a great deal of trouble and turmoil in his own district because he got himself in a little bit of a problem. The rumor has it that I've been told by a pretty reliable source that he's been promised an easy Democratic run next year, so therefore a lightweight will face him in the general election next year. He's in trouble, and I certainly don't think that he went up there and was converted by the governor, considering the fact that he voted last year to preserve traditional marriage.
Right.
Although he did say, there is a quote out there, Liz, that Lisi said, Senator Lisi that is, that said that it was a trap last year by Democrats to get them to cause them to vote the wrong way and then lose the Conservative Party support. So evidently he was lying already on the vote for traditional marriage last year, and he lied to the conservative leaders this year when he received the conservative endorsement. You know, everybody who has our endorsement has been asked this question throughout the entire state. Do you support traditional marriage or not? And that's how they got our endorsement. If they would have said they didn't, they would have not had the Conservative Party endorsement. So it's a matter of trust.
Right. So but then perhaps, I mean, just to put this out there, you would not want those candidates anyway. Perhaps you will just run your own candidates and endorse someone else. Isn't that how this is going to go?
Why would I want to endorse a candidate that lied to either one of my county leaders or lied to the state executive committee or, in fact, lied to me? And Senator Lisi, in fact, told me, well, last time I spoke to him about this issue, I had nothing to fear, that he was on my side.
When was that?
Well, that was at last year's Monroe County Conservative Party dinner, and I know my county leader in Monroe County spoke to him only a couple of weeks ago, and he had pledged to him that he would do nothing to embarrass him, meaning he would do nothing to embarrass the Conservative Party.
That's Chairman Cook, is that correct?
That's correct.
Right. So here's the thing, though. I mean, look, we don't know at this moment how this is going to go. The governor seems to feel pretty... He feels, you know, it's pretty optimistic, pretty comfortable. Here's the thing. You have, and your executive committee have the power to make decisions about endorsements in districts that cross county lines. In districts that are wholly inside counties, then the county leaders make that decision. There are some county leaders who do not see eye to eye with you. I'm thinking, for example, about Ralph Larigo in Erie County. There are some local elected officials, Assemblyman Mark Schroeder, for example, who got the blessing of the Conservative Party. Senator Tim Kennedy, also a Democrat, got the blessing of the Conservative Party in Erie County. This is not you. You can't control all those guys, right?
No, it's true. I can't control them. But fortunately, Liz, in all honesty, there are no other county leaders that I'm aware of, other than Ralph Larigo, who keeps the bar kind of low and doesn't draw the line in the sand to lift up the legislators from voting the wrong way. I don't have that problem in any of the other counties that any place that I'm aware of.
So I know we've been making a lot of noise and focus on this show about the push that's been made by the pro same-sex marriage advocates. They've got all sorts of people out there. They've got celebrities. They've got Sean Avery from the New York Rangers. They've got a lot of money. You sent out a memo, actually, to the members of the legislature. I'm holding it here, reminding them of the position of the Conservative Party. And you say something at the end that I found interesting, that the bill is a Pandora's box. And then once opened, you believe that if same-sex marriage is adopted, the government will have no authority to limit the number of partners people have or who those partners will be. Are you suggesting that this is like the pathway to polygamy?
I'm saying that if this bill passes, we will see in our lifetime more legislation. It's just the beginning. You will see people pushing for why not 3 people in a marriage? Why not 4? You will see churches and synagogues taking the court. I don't care the little providers in the legislation. You'll see moves to remove those little amendments that are in the program bill right now, that same-sex couples should have the right to be married in a church or a synagogue. You will see that all disappear. And you will also see parents up in arms. They don't really fully understand. I don't think the parents up and down the state of New York fully understand that their textbooks are going to be changed, and what's taught in their schools will be not necessarily acceptable by many of the parents throughout our state.
Let me ask you, the passage of same-sex marriage legislation in other states, I'm thinking, for example, of neighboring Massachusetts, has sparked lawsuits, at this point upheld in various different courts in other states. Will you sue if this gets passed?
Well, we'll have to take a look at it. I don't want to sue for the sake of suing. My hope is that we're not put in that position. We help elect the Senate majority.
Right.
This is a partnership. Each one of those men and women that took our endorsement took it with a clear understanding where we stood on this issue. And I think this is a partnership. My hope is they do not put the Conservative Party in this type of position. If they do, I don't see how they can remain in the majority. I want them to remain in the majority. I think the governor is making an awful mistake here. If this bill was to pass, it will not only cause social problems with schools and institutions, on small business people, it will wreak economic havoc on businesses and the state of New York, because then you're going to start dealing with pensions, you're going to start dealing with health care, and the cash register is empty here in the state of New York.
Some of that actually already is the case. I mean, thanks to an executive order by David Patterson, actually, there are benefits, for example, for public employees who have same-sex partners that the former governor has already done. The one thing that I feel...
that's not the case with little companies, though, Liz.
I understand that. That I'm still curious about, that I've not, actually, to be honest with you, never understood. I understand your predictions about social unrest, and we will see if this, in fact, passes and is signed into law. But how one person's traditional marriage is threatened by what another person does. This is something that I find questionable.
Look, I have no problem with people who choose same-sex couples, partners rather. I'm sorry. I have no problem, but it's not the Conservative Party that is trying to take anybody's rights away. It is the gay lobbyist community that is trying to change what I think is a very important institution in our society. And that institution is marriage between a man and a woman.
You actually once told me that you felt that this should really come up for a vote because you believed that it would be helpful to get lawmakers on the record, and so people would know. So conservatives would know, so liberals would know, everybody would know exactly where everybody else stands. Do you still feel that way?
Well, what I feel is I think I agree with, and hopefully that's what he meant, and that's certainly what I meant. Senator Skelos said if his conference wanted a vote on this, he would do that. My understanding of that doesn't mean if one person, namely Senator Lisi, wants to vote on this, that's not what the conference is calling for. I think if, in fact, or whether it's 2 senators, if the conference is opposed to having a vote on this, then I don't think there should be a vote that way. I mean, that's what they're there for. Right. I have no problem if they do vote, and I really have no ultimate problem if they do. That's what they do. But the math is kind of clear to me. If 1 or 2 senators are demanding a vote on a bill that everyone else is opposed to, why do we need a vote?
Well, I think that there are some senators who say this issue is not going away. You've seen the polls. They seem to indicate that New Yorkers are changing slowly their views on this, getting to be more in favor of it, if you believe the polls. Then they say, look, we might as well do it from a pragmatic standpoint now. It's not an election year. Next year we have Mike Long to deal with. Next year we have trouble. Maybe next year voters will forget.
Look, I think the polls are fairly accurate, but I think what the polls really mean, Liz, is that like me, I think most people in New York, most Americans, really have no problem if someone chooses to have a same-sex partner. And they can get all the rights in the world that they need through legal, get health care proxies, go to see an attorney. Why are they demanding to change what I believe is very important, the institution of marriage, a man and a woman?
Have you spoken to Dean Skelos at all today?
I'm waiting for him to call me back today. I called him today, and I'm waiting for a return call.
Okay, our understanding is that the Republicans will be speaking behind closed doors about this tomorrow from 10 to noon. They've sort of slotted out that time, and we are expecting them to discuss this. We don't know yet what is going to be happening, and it sounds to me like you're not sure either, because the Skelos hasn't taken the temperature of his conference yet. Is that right?
Right. To my knowledge, he hasn't. And so I'm sure I'll speak to him sometime today. Hopefully I will. He always returns my calls. And my hope is that this is a matter of trust. And it's a matter of honor. And my hope is that those legislators that have our endorsement don't break that trust and don't dishonor their commitments to defend traditional marriage.
Well, we shall see. It seems like it's going to come down to the wire, although we do not know if there will be a vote yet. Of course, a lot is running on Senator Skelos, and we will hopefully we'll be talking to him soon. I want to thank you, State Conservative Chairman Mike Long. It's good to see you. We will be trying to get your reaction one way or the other, so be well.
Okay. Good to talk to you.